call the meeting to order. First thing we need to do is approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Curtis and Ryan Schreiber. So we moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Ryan Ruda and Ryan Schreiber. Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, recognitions.
I say it every year, it is prep time, and it just, back when I was a teacher, I'd go away, and magically I'd come back in August, and hey, school, well, look at that, I'll be darned, how'd that happen? And it's the yells that come in and make sure everything's ready to roll. And so recognize all the good hard work that takes place during the summer, the maintenance staff, the transportation people, the food service, the classified people, the secretary, everybody that comes back and makes it all happen. Get everything ready to roll, the janitors for tomorrow. It all hits tomorrow. The new teachers report here bright and early, 8 o'clock. We'll go over the schedule later during my report. Leading up to the first report day for the teachers is official where they have to be here is Thursday. There's a work flex day on Wednesday, all leading up to the convocation on Friday. But anyway, all the prep work that's taking place in preparation for the big event, which the real day is next Tuesday when the students show back up for a half day of school. That's it, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, sir. All right, financials, Michael.
Okay, go to page 3, the warrants, down towards the bottom. Did it like last month where the big ones are right there. We have the High Plains Co-op, our first assessment payment of $121,870. And then the laptops, which you guys approved, $194,022. And then Mammoth payment number 2 on the track, $296,500 for warrants this month of $854,037.48. And then page 5 is our revenue expense balance. And then page 6 is our expenditures for the year. And then of course we have our transfers and then high school, middle school reports. So still pretty, just probably starting this fiscal year, so there's not much there. So if you have any questions.
Turn the air conditioners up, boys and girls. We're gonna jack it up a little bit.
If there's no further questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the financials at $854,037.48.
So moved.
Second.
Ryan Schreiber and Ryan Ruda. Been moved and seconded to approve the financials. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Patron administrative reports, Dr. Meyer.
A couple, 3 or 4 things to talk to you about tonight. Future of early childhood and PAT. Amy, well, there's no changes to early childhood yet. Amy tells me for me just to relax. Not going to be anything coming down the pike there. I personally don't have much faith in the early childhood department at the Kansas State Department of Education. I have zero faith in the parents as teachers portion of it. And so we did a little pushing and prodding when I was at the KSD conference this last 2 weeks ago, rather, and then saddled up next to the Commissioner of Education and said, the rumor mill has it that the PAT is leaving the Kansas State Department of Education. Fact or fiction? He said it's a fact. It's leaving the KSDE. They're going to the Children's Cabinet. And Sean, you'd reach out to me about that. I've not heard from that lady. I need to touch base with you.
That's what she got in the
Goodness.
grant.
Okay. Supposedly, so Amanda Peterson is the current queen of the early childhood department, and PAT is the under the auspices of that as we speak. I had the good fortune of hearing her speak at the conference, And then I also saw her last week at the Regional Service Center meeting, and I talked with her there as well. And she told me that it'll be the same funding amount, and the funding season, it's just under the Children's Cabinet. I'm waiting for this shoe to drop, so we can hear about that. The amount, but the movement is moving the dollars away from, consolidating it away from the smaller districts. And we're a 3A district, and that's considered smaller. For us, it's we have $26,000 in grant funding, where we have had through the years. I'm a deep proponent for early childhood and PAT program. My youngest, who's 27, was a member of, was a part of PAT way back when. It's been around for a long time. It's a valuable program. We'll do everything we can to maintain the program. But there are changes in the offing. As we know more, I will make sure you know more about it. So, changes are coming. So, the housing development. I wish I knew somebody who knew something about electrical infrastructure in the area, but I guess I don't. The Valero Housing Department project is east of us. Supposedly it's set up to go 100 to 109 units. It's supposed, I don't know what the proper term is, but set to be good for 100 to 109 units. 3 to 4 bedroom houses, each one of them $350,000 each or more. If and or when they start construction, it'll be 8 to 10 units being built each year. Anyone at the table have any more information about infrastructure? You know, electricity, plumbing.
They have not contacted Wheatland Electric about anything. You need to talk to the city of Holcomb. They've had numerous meetings about it.
Okay. My information comes from the EcoDevo world, and I guess you gave a presentation to Finney County. Ryan, have you heard any more about that as well?
I haven't heard any more on the project there at all.
Yeah, okay. So I'll check with the city, but not reach out to.
We have asked numerous questions and have received no answers.
Okay, so
Well, they're not gonna be trailer houses, so
they're not gonna be trailer houses
get that on rumor mill.
on brick foundations. No, 3 to 4. 3 to 4 bedroom houses with $250,000 price tags. They're far more permanent than one might have heard 2 years ago. Elkhart shenanigans with High Plains Educational Co-op. They are withholding their assessment payments from last year due to Pearson is upset. That's their provider for their virtual school, and because their profit margin is going to drop from $6 million a year to $3 million a year. I could not give two hoots less about that. My attitude is, and so I was at the meeting, High Plains meeting 2 weeks ago, I think it was, no, 3 weeks ago, and I was in the executive meeting when they read the demand letter that the lawyer had put together. It made me scared. And so they sent that letter off to the Elkhart board and the board members and the superintendent and their lawyer and the whole 9 yards. But the word is the USC 218 BOE is supporting the superintendent, and they're doubling down, saying we don't care. So Alexa, the new CEO of High Plains, had actually reached out to KSDE, and the KSD in all their wisdom said we're hands off at this point, as long as there's just only one district involved in this. I don't know what the magic number is. I mean, because like my message to Alexa is, if they're not paying now, why do you think they'll pay next year? And if they're not paying now, why do you think anybody else will pay? And so at what point does KSD get involved? I don't know. And if other districts don't pay High Plains, it's just 20 seconds before that firestorm goes across the state. And nobody makes their payments to their sped co-ops. Now, it could be a bias against smaller districts because co-ops are made up of districts 4A and smaller. Garden City takes care of their own sped. I don't know. I have no idea. But there's over 100 and some odd districts west of Salina. So this is a major deal. This is a big old deal. So we'll see what happens.
So what are the next steps from the demand letter?
File suit.
Yeah.
And ultimately, this board might have to make a decision, because if nothing occurs out of this, our assessment would go up to make up the difference. And so I might be coming to you and say, you know what, we probably either need to join a lawsuit or do our own lawsuit, because it would be less expensive because we've got lawyers on retainer, to file suit versus we'd have to do the math to decide, $5,000 lawsuit, send our own demand letter versus we swallow up whatever the assessment increase would be. That's work to be done down the road. The next meeting we have is next Thursday night, not this week, next Thursday.
So then if we have to swallow up, but they're not, then do we send them, Elkhart, a bill?
Good. I mean, all sorts of machinations out of this. Absolutely. I wrote to you guys about this. Fun times. This will be interesting. And the KSDE is silent. They know not what they do in this regard, because this will go across the state of Kansas. This will be a big deal if they just sit that back and they say, oh, it's Southwest Kansas. It's a matter of time before other people across the state of Kansas say, they're not paying? I don't want to pay.
We just wrote a pretty good sized check.
Yes, we did, because of the thing called honor, and we signed a contract. And by the way, that's the thing, they are in breach of contract. They're in breach of contract as we speak. I'm not a lawyer, I only play one on TV. I don't do that either. But they signed a contract, and you can't just choose not to follow up with the contract.
And they have High Plains employees in their district working right now.
Correct. Yeah, I personally don't see how Elkhart can get away with this, personally. And keep in mind, the only reason they don't want to do it is because Pearson, the evil empire in educational programming, isn't happy because their profit, not their expense, their profit is being cut in half from $6 million a year to $3 million a year. I mean, I know, Ryan, I shake my head as well. Okay, let's talk about something a little more positive. Back to school time. You have at your place the schedule over the next couple days. A couple things I want to highlight to you tomorrow. I already mentioned to you already, but I'll use the word already more than once. New teacher time is tomorrow, 8 o'clock here. You're welcome to come on in and be introduced to the new teachers, but you don't have to be here at 8. We'll be feeding them over at Wiley Elementary at 11:30. So come on in over there if you'd like to. At 6:30, we're bringing back the back to school barbecue in the swimming pool park. Sean will have his Traeger out there. We're cooking hamburgers and hot dogs and whatever else. I think he'll be firing up at 5-ish, Sean. If you want to help, come on out. You're welcome to any event if you want to show up for any of these things on the schedule. The next thing, Jermaine, that you really want to show up for is Matt's final speech. The tear drops will be flowing as he speechifies on Friday during the convocation at 8. If you can't make that, we're providing lunch at the Golden Corral at 11 o'clock on Friday. So show up and get your belly full if you'd like to. And this all leads up, culminating to Tuesday, the 19th, 8 o'clock in the morning, the first day of school. Half day with students and then a half day work day. And then we are up and rolling. So that's my report, Mr. Jones.
Let's move to buildings and grounds. Okay, transportation.
I have city yard first aid on Wednesday, and then defensive driving on Thursday, and then inspections on Thursday, and we're ready to go.
Awesome, thanks Sam. All right, Monica, food services.
Nothing further.
Technology, Julie? Well, she's making a long walk, and she's got notes.
Just came up to see if any of you all had any questions about the updates on the Chromebook policy, the changes that we're planning to make for next year.
bought one laptop, he bought, you know.
Okay, yeah, just a few things on the, there'll be, there's just a few changes to 4C on the fee structure and how that's set up. Previously, it was first, time of damage, that was $25, and the next time it was $100. It'll be tiered now, so if it was a key the first time, it's 30, and if it's a key again, it's 50, because it's a smaller
What trick is your
project.
speaker?
Louder?
Yeah, just because this is going to be policy we will be dealing with later
Okay.
on.
All right,
Please.
so it's been leveled out according to the type of damage it was. Obviously, a screen is gonna cost more to replace than keys, and so the damages, kind of reflect, or the cost reflects what type of damage has taken place there. And then in section 9, the Chromebook insurance, previously, several years back, I don't know when this ended, the district offered Chromebook insurance. We no longer offer that within the district. However, parents can get that insurance on their own with their own policy, so some of that wording was taken out of there as far as it being offered by the school district, but they still have that option to purchase on their own. Number 11 was added, that's Google services for Google School. Google has implemented something new where they have to have parental consent for some of the additional items that they have, some of the apps that they have. It's like Google Translate, there's a lot of them, but Google Translate, Google Maps, Google Earth, some of those things. And so each year they have required that we have parental consent for anybody under 18 for those. So, any questions on any of that? Okay.
Thank you, Julie.
And like I said, we'll be later in the agenda, the new business Chromebook policy update. This all comes back up again, so, but she gave you a preview.
Thank you. All right, we'll move to principals and Tyler.
One of these days, Amy.
Just a few things for the new year that we're excited about. First, I guess,
So that was off. Our open house will be next Monday, 6:30 to 8. It is a little later. We're staggering it with elementary schools so that if you have kids in both buildings, you can go there first, hopefully then come up to the middle school. But we'll be 6:30 to 8 next Monday for open house, so kids can come and find their classes, check out their lockers, all that fun stuff. Couple things we're really excited about for this school year. One, we will start our math interventions. So we've had reading in place now for 2 years, but we'll now have a chance for some of our students that are really struggling with their math scores. They'll have a chance to get that direct attention with their math teachers, that extra 30 minutes daily, 4 times a week. So that'll be great for them, hopefully to help them. And then the other thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned, oh my goodness, I lost it in my mind. That was the big one. That was one. Oh, Unhooked. Unhooked, I had mentioned in the spring that we would be kind of aligning it more with CTE pathways. So, sorry kids, a little less ultimate frisbee, a little more maybe doing lifetime or looking at physical training, things like that. So they'll still be, tailored to kids' interests, but they'll get a chance to team up with a teacher that has a similar interest and do some fun projects like that. So we're excited where we're going with Unhooked. And we're excited to get our MTSS interventions working for math as it's been doing for reading. So excited to get here going. Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. All right, Amy. In the suspense.
Okay, we also have our back to school night on Monday, and like Tyler said, our times are kind of staggered. The elementary schools will be from 5:30 to 7. So we hope to see all of our families come and take the opportunity to bring their school supplies and meet their teacher next Monday. We had some of our flooring project completed over the summer, so we had an additional 7 classrooms who were able to get new flooring for. It looks great. They did a nice job, and hopefully we can get the rest of it completed and have all new flooring in Wiley. So everything's looking good.
Thank you. All right, Randy.
Randy.
First of all, just want to highlight a few things. Obviously, the playground is looking great. Our surface was put in over the summer. And then also we were able to Garrett and his crew were able to do the bonded mulch. So in the areas that we had to leave open, that has mulch, but it's just glued. So hopefully that will keep it from blowing around and having to be replaced often. We have some new picnic tables. The picnic tables there, I think they're repaired annually because they've broken in the middle long ago, and the grounds crew, reinforces it, and we get through a little bit longer. But I did order metal ones this time, so I think those should last quite a while. I think they should be pretty sturdy. So excited about that. The gazebo's got a fresh coat of paint, so you'll notice that they match the school. So it looks very nice. We're working. Garrett's been working with someone on the roof of each gazebo because they don't look so good. They look like, they came from, I guess, what did you say they came from?
Sunroof from either high school or middle school.
So reused, years ago whenever those were built. We're trying to, I think Garrett has found someone that would be able to paint them, so that they'll look like the rest of it. But all of that looks really great. A couple of the things I'm excited about inside, we have a couple of new bottle fillers. And Garrett has worked, and his crew have worked hard to get electrical, whatever, over there so that we can put those in, but it keeps the place that the kids go to fill their bottles in the area where their classrooms are, as opposed to having to go, around the corner and be out of the sight of teachers. And so we usually have lots of things go on at those bottle fillers that are around the corner by the bathrooms. So very excited about those two things inside. Also, a window over here in the 3rd grade hallway has been replaced. There was some where water would get in, it was starting to kind of eat away at the frame. So really excited that is new. Also, Rebecca and her crew have done a lot of work. As you guys know, Holcomb Elementary, and probably every school's like this, but we find lots of stuff. I think we are decluttering some areas there by the North Gym, and Mary was able to find something from one of her kids' classes. They graduated 20 plus years ago. So it was an assignment that was laminated and probably had been put up. So it was in one of the drawers back there. But lots of PTO stuff. So slowly we just try to, so when the disposal list comes out and there's stuff on Holcomb Elementary, I do not know where it comes from, but we continue to find it. The garage looks great, so we had lots of stuff in there. Just as things get cleaned up, it ends up in there, and Rebecca did a really nice job reorganizing that. We just got rid of some stuff from Odyssey of the Mind. So if you guys remember how long ago it was that we did that, that room was full of stuff that they used to just create their things. So just got rid of all that. So really excited about just lots of the work that took place this summer, and just helps us be ready to go for kids. As far as learning goes, both elementaries will be focusing on spelling instruction this year, and not only about being able to spell, but being able to understand those phonics rules and be able to teach them to kids is really important. So we will be doing some professional learning here at the beginning of the year, getting those in line, and may see just a little bit of changes to what spelling assessment looks like. So we will definitely keep you informed on that as we go down that road.
All right. Thank you, Randy. All right, Jerry Johnson.
I'm glad Randy found all the stuff that we secretly from the high school have been stashing in her building for the last year and a half. We worked really hard in our seminars to covertly bring it down there.
It's been what do they call it? Kind of you hide things and you go look for it.
Yeah, like a scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt, yeah, scavenger hunt, yeah.
Something like that. But we don't try to find them, we just leave them. No. getting back to school, really excited. Our BLT, our building leadership team, went on a retreat last Wednesday and Thursday. That always marks our getting back into it. It's a really good retreat where we look at our data from the previous year. We look at like discipline referrals, we look at our attendance, we look at our chronic absenteeism, and we try to set a culture goal around that side of it. And then we look at our testing wise and grades, and we try to set an academic goal. So every year we walk into the school with an academic goal and a culture goal. So we're really excited this year. Academic goal is going to be focused on assessment, and are we assessing at the depth of knowledge that the standards are actually asking us to assess at. I think we're teaching the right things. I know we're teaching the right things when it comes to standards. We've aligned our standards to what the assessments are, but are we asking them at the level that the standards actually asking us to ask it at? And we saw some really good stuff at the KSDE conference, that the state's finally going to put out some performance level indicators for us, along with the standards, to let us know exactly on this standard, this is what they're asking for a level 4 and a level 3 and a level 2. And it's something that we've been looking for a while, because when you look at the standards, you just kind of look at them and say, well, this is what it's asking, but like, it's such a vague way to say it. They're going to come out with more pinpointed to say is, the example they gave is if you have to use parentheses for like a math problem, if you can use 2 or more parentheses, that would be a 3. If you can use less than 2 parentheses, that would be a 2. So that's going to be more pinpointed, that we know exactly what that depth of knowledge is that we're having to ask for. So we're excited about that. Our culture goal is going to be focused around on like work ethic and how to persevere and to keep working through. With some of the data that we saw about the number of kids that are consecutively on an eligible list for 13 and 14 weeks. A lot of it is, when you take a look at why are they on there, failure to go in to reassess and reapply and do some of that stuff. And so it's developing an advisory system more, where the teachers are checking in with the students weekly and setting up communication with them and parents to be able to say, hey, your kid's here, what is it that we can do all together and try to get it off. So excited about that, excited about kids being back in the building and people being back in the building. I think my secretaries are getting tired of me because I'm a social person. When nobody's in the building, then I just talk to them a lot, and I think they're tired of me being in the office because they always ask me to go do things around the school. So I'm ready for other people to be in the building.
Thank you, Jerry. All right, let's move to unfinished business and strategic plan focus areas.
All righty, this is the culminating final step in the year-long process of creating the strategic plan. As you well know, we're only as good as our people. I don't care what the scenario is, you're only as good as your people. And so last month, the board codified the strategic plan. We went through the entire process, had all the community focus groups. After the surveys had gone out, we came back with the pillars and the areas of concentration. And I brought back to you, then the board approved it. So there you go. And so the challenge was for this month to bring back to you, after the admin had looked at it, ad nauseum, time and again, the focus areas. And so I led off with we're only as good as our people. And so the focus areas that we've brought back to you, 3 of the focus areas center on the strength and strengthening of our people. 2 of them are specifically around professional learning plans, and then the mentoring plan. And those came out loud and clear in the various pillars of the strategic plan. And we're really in a really good spot on each one of these areas, by the way. The 25-26 plan is created. The calendar is set, and we know what's going on a given day, because we always work 2 years ahead on the calendar. I don't have that information in front of me to say to you on November 15th we're doing this. I don't think you really care about that. What you do need to know is it's done. It's put together. The 26-27 plan is been developed and ready for finalization. There's a few little final steps to put together on that, as far as we do have the topics are put together, but we need to really put the fine point to it. And then we also need to put together who the speakers are for it. But we're really in a good spot. Going along hand in hand with the professional learning piece of this came back from the work with the community was shoring up and making sure our mentor plan was doing all it's supposed to be doing. And so our mentor committee is getting ready to be activated. Tyler's going to be leading that. We've got representatives from each one of the buildings. We've got a mentor plan, but it hadn't been looked at since 2021. So we're dusting it off, and we're going to make sure that it's a viable, living, breathing document that does reflect what we want it to reflect. We utilize the Kansas Mentor Induction Center out of Wichita State, called KMIC, to train up our mentors. And so that's a licensing portion, or licensing function, if you will. But we need to merge it with our handbook to make sure that at home, then we're making sure we're, spending the time with our people as we want them to take place. Another area that's come through with the admin and looking at how important it is, and I continue to talk, anytime I talk for a group of people, the importance of the individual plans of study as a continual focus, pre-K-12. The state requires districts to have an 8 through 12 program approach. We are pre-K-12, and we are at this point moving down the path of creating, or what's been created, now we have to put it together, the electronic platform. So that will be put together, so when a kid comes into us, he or she will have that as they matriculate all the way through the system. And that's built on individual students' aptitudes and learning styles, and where they want to be when they move beyond the land of the Longhorns. And the last area is engaging with I've been engaging with multiple groups, consulting groups rather, to help us build a comprehensive plan toward facilities and grounds. So these are the particular tips of the spear, if you will, coming out of the strategic plan, the work to focus on which to focus moving forward over the next 12 months. Next year we'll take a look at it and say, okay, where are we sitting? Because you've heard me say it before, it's impossible to eat an elephant all in one bite. So it would get nothing done if we tried to do it all at once. Everything from the strategic plan. So the admin group said, well, it's all important, but what is the most important? To quote George Orwell, all pigs are equal, but some pigs are more equal. Well, these are the more equal pigs. And so that's our opinion. But I brought this back to you, not for any sort of action whatsoever, but any sort of feedback. So our focus is, we're only as good as our people. So 3 of these things deal specifically with our people. One is a continuation on the importance of the individual plans of study, and then we really think it's important to have a systemic approach to and build this plan toward long-term improvement toward our facilities and our grounds. So that's what I've got for you, Mr. Jones.
Okay.
In this area.
All right. Any questions? All right. Let's move to building needs assessment summary budget response.
All right, this came into play a couple years back, where the individual buildings, the principals with their BLTs, assess the needs of their buildings and their students. The whole idea behind this is to get 100% of their students who are tested in state assessments to levels 3 and 4 on the state assessments. And all the buildings have to do this even if they don't take the state assessments. So all those students at Wiley Elementary who are pre-K through 2nd grade who don't take the state assessments still have to engage in this work. And so Amy very dutifully leads her people through this and try to figure out, how do we get our people to levels 3 and 4? Well, first of all, get them into 3rd grade. But she doesn't do that. They very carefully look at their data and try to figure out, well, what can we do? And so the 3 factors they have to look at are barriers, then budgetary adjustments that we possibly need to consider, and then the time horizon for when before we would get them there, okay? So then how this works, we make this magic work, is all of the buildings do their work individually, then it comes to the central office, and then I pull it together. And every district of any size whatsoever does this. And so like in Garden City, I don't know how many buildings they have. but they do this, and then they pull it together, and then they take a look at it, and then they are doing this presentation tonight, I'm assuming. Or, well, yeah, it's tonight, because this fuels, in theory, the budget that will ultimately be created in each district. Okay, so you have a handout with the results from the 25-26 Building Needs Assessment District Summary. I'm not going to just read the entire thing to you, but I will highlight a couple of different things to you. Under barriers, the lack of pre-K-12 centralized professional learning plan is a perceived barrier that came out of the work from all four buildings. I just got through talking about that's part of our strategic plan. It's also built into our KISA plan. So we're addressing this. We're working on it. So we're not just sitting around saying, "Oh, too bad, nothing we can do about it." No, we're working on it. Second one I'll talk to you about is you go down, I don't know, to 2/3 of the way through the bullets there. Family and student trauma. It exists. I don't know that we can ever eradicate, no, we can't really ever eradicate family and student trauma, but through our council, we have a really dynamic, really caring group of counselors, and they lead the efforts in our buildings to work with our students, and we have all sorts of lessons and activities engaging with the students around the social and emotional learning efforts. And so we don't turn a blind eye to the needs of family or student trauma. You know, we work on it as best we can. And then the final one I want to mention to you is needing to improve the individual plans of study. Well, I just got through talking about that as well. So these are truly important pieces of work that we're doing. And those are the barriers that we're addressing. The possible budgetary adjustments, the first one to talk to you about is dedicate monies to needed professional learning areas. Well, that's taking place. Specifically, through our MTSS efforts, you know, Jerry, or one of the principals, I'm sorry, talked about the ELA, and then I think it was Tyler, math initiatives to meet the needs of the individual kids. Well, that's growing out of the MTSS professional learning that we've been doing. And so it's the dedicating the monies, if nothing else, for subs. Because we bring in the TASM group to help us with the professional learning, but the teachers, you know, we don't just leave the kids alone in the classrooms, we put subs there, okay? So we're dedicating monies to address this. We also have the letters training, the science of reading that's taking place. We've got a whole slew of elementary teachers taking part in this, some middle school teachers taking part of it. Very proud of Jerry and his leadership. High school English teachers are taking part in this. And also we are having two of our trainers, two of our teachers rather, Jackie Stapp and Carrie Roth, are being trained up to be local letters trainers here in-house. So that's wonderful as well. So we will, down the road, be able to provide these trainings in-house, well, down the road. The final piece of this is the time horizon. Last year I told you 8 years, so this year I'll tell you 7 years. The real truth of it is it's infinity plus one. The statistics are there's never 100% of anything. The law of halves is it never, ever, 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 ever ends. But ultimately, this magic, perfect mousetrap that the KPI has created, that the KSDE has bought into, there will be a penance to be paid ultimately. I'm saying 7 years. At some point in time, this will have to be reported to somebody, and then the KPI, Kansas Policy Institute, will say, aha, I thought you guys said it was all fixed by then. And we'll say, that's why I keep telling you the truth is infinity plus one, because we're never going to fix trauma. We will always have, unfortunately, people who come to us, students who come to us with situations at home. And there will always have students who come to us who have real difficulties learning how to read. And we will do all we can and help them as best we can. But there you go, Mr. Jones. That is a statutory requirement to have shared that with you, and we take it very seriously. I get a little glib about the time horizon, but the work previous, me talking about the time horizon, we take it very seriously, and we're rolling our sleeves up and getting after it. There you go. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Myers. Let's move to track update.
Alrighty, I brought Garrett to the table just in case you have questions that go beyond my limited scope of expertise. As you well know, the track is well under construction. If you've not ventured out there, please do. Go drive around out there. Progress continues to be ahead of schedule. We're pushing I continue to push the importance, the desire, the need to play our games at home. The first home game is September 4th. It's a middle school game, followed up by September 5th. It's a high school game. And so like I said, we are to the concrete curb section of it. It's a 14-day project. Was supposed to have begun today, started last week, I think it was.
Yep.
So I don't know how many days ahead they are, but they are ahead of schedule, which is great. Anytime you get ahead in construction, yay, way to be. But I've been at this long enough to know it's usually 10% overage or 10 or 20% overage in time and money. But we're on it. And Garrett does a really nice job of saying, keep going, let's go. We have every other Thursday, meetings where Garrett, myself, Jerry, Kent, Bree, Amy's invited. Amy, well, you're welcome to be there, Amy, if you'd like to. And Wickwer is the female women's track coach is invited. We get out there and say, where are we? What's going on? How's it doing? I'm pleased at this point. By vast majority of them, pleased. That said, there's always, 4 steps forward and 2 steps back. They're needing to fix a few things for us. A few lines got broken, or at least a line got broken. Some heads have been broken. They're getting to fix them. They said, well, you need to have your crew come out and fix it. And Garrett said, that's me. So no, that's not how it's going to fly. You need to trench it, and then Garrett will come out and fix it because he knows how to do it and he can do it quickly. But you need to be on the business end of the shovel and or bring a trencher out. We don't care how you do it, but you get on it. So any updates on that, push the button so you can, if it's... So.
Yeah, it's still on.
All right.
Meeting with Bob tomorrow, and we're gonna talk with Midge over it and get everything figured out for it. We'll have it all.
Okay. We've not been able to water the outside of the football field for 2 weeks. Luckily, we've had rain, so that's a good thing. And we've grown the grass longer, so that keeps the water there as well. But we are impressing whomever wants to listen to us. We need to get the water back on the field, and so we want this fixed yesterday, as far as the lines go and the line goes. Just one, right? How many lines is it?
I think just one, maybe 2.
But it's multiple heads.
Multiple heads.
I mean, it's construction. It happens.
Did
They've
you
always
hit a riser or something like that too?
No, they hit a valve box that we had marked. They drove over it, broke the valve box.
But that's been fixed.
That one's been fixed already.
Okay. And then
Work on Saturdays, I was impressed, they were watering the track on Saturday when I drove up there.
well, and they're looking to work at nighttime,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
Do it. That's great. The one more last thing that we need, well, at some point we need to do is the gray has been chosen, and that's beautiful, nice dark gray. And we're looking to choose the orange for the exchange zones. And so I would like, because I tend to go more toward vibrant colors like my tie.
Yeah, we need burnt orange.
We will edit that out of this portion of the, no, there will not be any burnt, no. It'll be a vibrant orange, no burnt orange, no. They are trying to be funny and they're not. They will be vibrant, what do you call it? No, pumpkin orange? It's
Pumpkin orange is
pumpkin orange, baby. That's what it is, not.
You can name the Crayola crayons, you can submit names for the colors, remember that?
pumpkin orange.
It's not longhorn, no.
It's not burnt orange though?
No. Anyway, we're choosing the orange soon. Just so you remember, according to their schedule, like Captain Picard, their final cleanup walk around is my son's birthday, November 21st. The drop dead date, like they start owing us more money, is March 20th. So, I mean, they've built a lot of time into this puppy. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But with that, I keep impressing upon Mitch and whomever will listen to me from Mammoth, I'd rather roll the dice of winter than, say, move a football game. Nope, not wanting to do it, not willing to do it. So, we will move cheerleaders, we'll put out a thing to allow us to walk across it, we'll figure it out. Play football at home, I mean, if Scott gets his way.
We'll have the curbing done by then.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the thing called the track grading AB3, which I don't know what that is, but Garrett does.
So what did they do for ground stabilization on the base? Or have they done that?
They did that.
They did that.
That's done. They did something, Curtis.
So did they like incorporate concrete
Yeah, they took Portland
in
cement
the dirt?
and put it on there, then rototilled it in and watered and packaged it.
And I mean, I was out walking on it, and it said it's harder, you can feel it, it's harder than it ever was before, I mean.
So the disposal of all of that stuff that they hauled out here north of the Essex State Barn, was that part of the scope for them to dispose of that somewhere else?
No. If they had taken it to a dump or something like that, that would have been an add-on. I'm okay with where they put it because we have a plan. We're looking around for a plan. Well, we have an idea to where we're going to turn that into millings and ultimately fix that road, the farm road. That's the plan. We're going to take the concrete. Originally, we just thought we'd take the asphalt.
How was that not part of the scope?
I don't know. But it wasn't. It was not part of it. It was going to be off-site dumpage. So, our lawyer caught the thing about I don't think I talked to you about it, but the something bond. They originally said that was on us, and the lawyer said, "Why would you pay for that?" I said, "Yeah, you're right. Why should they? There's going to be what percentage of it?
Performance bond.
Yeah, it's like $30,000 or something like that." So I said, we shouldn't pay for that. So in the end, we argued back and forth, and in the end, they took it.
What were they gonna do with it if they didn't dump it on us?
Find a spot.
Take it to the dump or
Yeah,
like a lease.
be charged to us. So I think it's a good thing where it is. And so, and ultimately, like I said, we found a use for it. And we fixed kill two birds with one stone.
Surely there's a lot of rebar in it, right?
No rebar.
I didn't see any
Ah,
rebar
that's-
sticking out up there.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That-
And so, didn't you say there's,
There is now. Alan, there.
and you're talking to somebody, you've been talking to somebody about how to mill it up?
Yeah, Matt Lee with Lee Construction, he's started a side business. They've already called and asked for the concrete on there. I was like, we got a plan, so we're just waiting.
Oh, they want the concrete?
Yeah.
Really? Oh.
They'll probably come set their deal up here and just crush it right here, I would imagine.
I'll say everything we own is for sale, so let's get a price on it, But
Well, they told us it would be us paying for it for the
Haul off?
freight hauling it off.
No.
So it wouldn't work, so like, no, we
No.
want it here.
But if we can fix that road, crush it and whatever. See, originally I thought we'd just use the asphalt top.
I can't believe they did that without having a price in there for hauling it off, cause that's a ton of money
Oh, yeah.
to dispose of that.
That's why this is a good idea, a good thing. This is a good thing. So, there you go, Matt. Okay.
All right, let's move to LOB resolution.
Alrighty, this is a recent interpretation as in the last 3 years from the KSDE that even though we originally did the LOB resolution, current and continuing forever, interpretation law dealing with the LOB local option budget resolution needs to be redone on a yearly basis. So I'm asking for the board to redo the LOB resolution to keep it at 33%. As we've had it, in order to maintain our budget and keep our budget where it needs to be, I really need for the board to do this. So it's a little over 2.8 million in the LOB is what it will generate for us.
I would recommend the board adopt the resolution for 25-26 school year.
For the LOB.
For the LOB.
Second. Trevor and Sean. Been moved and seconded to adopt the LOB resolution for the 25-26 school year. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, KASB policy recommendations, second read.
This is the second read to make this final. If you know, twice a year, KSB comes out with recommendations to get things in line with their own interpreted, bouncing ball changes. Then also the changing federal and/or state laws and policies. Last month we looked through these 5. The pretty simple ones. The investment of idle funds basically allows 2 business days for the groups to produce something for us. Employee whistleblower, it's a new law. It needs to be a standalone policy, and we have to post the protections for employees, who want to report any illegal action of the district. The next one is student activities. Just basically aligns with, it allows homeschool, virtual school, and non-public students to participate in CASE activities. Concealed observation for anybody out there. I'm talking to you, Sam. Anybody out there who wants to legally record our board meetings and then post them, you get to. Sam has fun. The last one is visitors to the school. Off-duty law enforcement officers do not, and this is the law, this is in the law, do not have to provide information, personal information, email address, home address, phone number, or any notification that they are armed to the school. And this is in the law. So these policies would get us in line with what the law says. So I recommend the board approve the KASB proposed policy adjustments.
Casey.
Second.
Ryan Trevo. Been moved and seconded to approve the KASB proposed policy adjustments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, transfer of property.
Should be called donation, but it's not. This brings this whole fiasco to a close. It's a 3 or 4 year policy of the district accepting the donation of the message board from the city of Holcomb, but it's not a donation, it's a transfer of property. It's silly, but I recommend the board accept the transfer of property of the digital message board from the city of Holcomb to USD 363.
So moved.
Ryan
Put it
Ruda
down, put it down.
and Sean.
You know, those lawyers, they gotta.
We got paid.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the transfer of property of the digital messaging board from the city of Holcomb to USD 363. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, handbook update.
Yeah, this is merely cleaning up our work, ensuring we have our documenting our practices. This came out when we were transferring from Power School to Skyward. We discovered we needed to adjust our grading scale within work habits and social skills at WES and HES. It's nothing substantive. From outstanding for citizenship from outstanding from 95 to 90, and from satisfactory from 80 to 89. And then doing away with the various grades down below at physical education, music, and computer elementary. This is what's been in practice for a while. We just need to make sure what's written, follows suit with what we've been doing. So I recommend the board accept the adjustments to the 2 elementary handbooks as presented.
So they don't get grades in those classes?
Yeah.
So moved.
Not count
All right,
So moved.
Sean moved and Ryan Ruda seconded. Been moved and seconded to accept the adjustments to the 2 elementary handbooks as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, new business, Chromebook policy update.
All righty, Julie stole my thunder. She covered all this earlier. So Chromebook policy update, it's just need to get this updated because we need to have students and their parents who they have their students accepted Chromebook need to sign off on the fact they've read the handbook. There's some minor things. They were going from going from Power School to Skyward. But there's 3 substantive things in here. The fee structure for making repairs when damages occur. Unfortunately, damages occur. If you remember a couple meetings back, Ryan, you talked about, asked Tyler if he'd fix the middle school kids or shoving the paper clips into the ports, that kind of thing, right? Our old structure was not as flamboyant, or not flamboyant, as dynamic as it was being proposed. So now there's levels 1, 2, and 3 of damage, and within the 3 levels, there's first incident, second incident, and third incident, and the charges accelerate with, or graduated rather, with the number of instances. And then if it goes beyond the third, we would, just continue it on. We'd keep going to a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, or maybe jump to level 2 now. You've gone further. We would hope at this point in time, at some point in time, the family would say, stop doing these things, youngin'. At some point in time, it gets to be pretty expensive. 100% of the repair costs of the family, with a minimum of $320 by the time you're at level 3.
So do we have a level for like TikTok damage?
Yeah. And also some other things that are being done just by practice. When Casey goes into 9th grade, she's assigned a Chromebook. And so let's say in 10th grade, her screen falls off. And we get into it, we dig into it, and on the back of the motherboard, somebody's drawn something naughty on the back of the motherboard. And so Casey's parents say, well, can you prove that she did it? We'll say, she's had the same Chromebook for 2 years. Yeah, this was a real case that happened to us this last year. And so we had to say, we couldn't really prove it. And the track record of that individual situation, we had to back off and say, all right. So now Curtis gets his Chromebook. When he comes as a 9th grader, it's his. If you loaned it to Ryan Ruda and he did something weird with it, you shouldn't have loaned it to Ryan Ruda. That's all I can say. That was a mistake on your part. So this is a better approach as far as our fee structure goes. The insurance, like Julie alluded to, we've not offered insurance for a while, but now this is in line with our practice. That we don't, but we want to make sure people know insurance does exist. If you want to go out there and get insurance, please do. Go get it. Because unfortunately, people do drop Chromebooks, and or they do things when the screen falls off their computer. And then the Google services, we are a Google school. Google requires that as a Google school, that we have parents sign off on the fact that if we choose to turn on Google Maps or Google Translate or YouTube or whatever, that the parents know we might do that. We are going to do that very frugally. We're not going to just turn on a lot of stuff. But the parents need to know that this could occur if the kids are under the age of 18. So that's the update to the Google policy. I recommend, and Julie and her group worked very, very closely, or very carefully, very didactically through this to bring forth a policy across the board on this thing that reflects and will be what we need it to be moving forward. And then a year from now, I'll have other recommendations for you because we'll find, oops, that didn't work. I recommend approval of the updates to the Chromebook use policy as presented.
So moved.
Curtis and Ryan Travel. Moved and seconded to approve the updates to the Chromebook use policy as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Delegate Assembly Representative.
All righty, every year at the KASB conference, they have a delegate assembly, and because they make changes, and put in order for a person to represent a district in order to cast votes, that local district has to assign someone. It's normal to assign the board president with the remaining, naming the remainder of the board as alternates in case the board president is not able to attend. So I recommend the board appoint the board president to serve as a delegate assembly with the remaining members as alternates.
Ryan Ruda and Sean. Moved and seconded to appoint the board president to serve as the delegate assembly representative of the KASB annual conference, with all other board members named as alternates. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? All right. Personnel, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Okay.
With Dr. Myers, just Dr. Myers?
Just one.
All right, so let's go in at 8:05 for 20 minutes. with Dr. Myers. Does that work?
Second.
Ryan Trevogel and Casey. It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session at 8:05 for 20 minutes, including Dr. Myers. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Gracias. You're not funny.
I know, but
Funny looking, funny smelling. You forgot your second grade teacher. I mean, principal. Funny looking, funny smelling.
All right, we are back in session. I need a motion to hire Jessica Ballets as a full-time cook.
So moved. Second.
Ryan Schreiber and Curtis. Been moved and second to hire Jessica as a full-time cook. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to approve the supplementals as presented.
So moved. Second.
Ryan Schreiber and Ryan Rudez. It's been moved and second to approve the supplementals as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's it, Mr.
I
Jones.
need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Curtis and Sean. It's been moved and second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.